All right, so I'm going to ask you to flip to your next available page in your notebook. And we are going to title this page Population versus Sample. So you've heard these words a lot. A population obviously is everyone in the group that you are surveying, and a sample is a small subset of that group. So a population can be something as small as just the members of your family. It could be everyone in the senior class at Conard. It could be every senior in the United States, or it could be all the people in the world. So your population is exactly how you define it. It does not have to be everyone everywhere all the time. So it's strictly based on what you are studying. A sample also relates to exactly what you're studying. So if you're looking at how people are feeling about being stuck at home, you probably can't interview every single person that is stuck at home right now. So maybe you take a sample of different people in Connecticut and you just look at Connecticut. But it wouldn't be interviewing everyone, it's interviewing a few people or a specific number of people that are affected by what you are trying to study. So something that is important to a couple of important vocab words in with population, something that is actually going on right now is a census. So a census is a poll or survey of the entire population. Now, something that's important to note is that the census that we are currently doing is the entire population of the United States. It's not the entire population of the world. We're looking at something that's country-based. So it's important to note what population means in a certain setting. So there are some issues with taking census. And in the previous video, you looked at how there are issues with finding every single person. So some of the problems are speed. Takes a long time to do this. Accuracy, because not everyone will always participate in something like that. And cost. It is extremely costly to do that. So that kind of explains why we do not have a census every single year. And the other type of information that you can get for just sample would be a sample survey. So here you can get a subset of the population. Now, what we usually see in statistics is we have statistics which are having to do with sample. But what actually has to do with population, those are called parameters. It is much easier to get a statistic than it is to get a parameter. So a visual that you see a lot in statistics is looking at how you would have a big population And then within that population, you might have a sample. Let's say this is our sample. So I take that small sample of the population, I take it out, and I can make some observations about this sample. So this is what I'm studying. This is where it is coming from. I take that sample and I find statistics. And I use those statistics to make inferences about the population. So I can make conclusions about a sample and apply them to the population. So what that means is maybe you take a small sample of the students at Conard, and you take that small sample and you ask them all, I think we've talked about this one before, maybe you ask them all if they would like to see a Chick-fil-A go in across the street from the school. So you take that small sample, you figure out what people say. If most of the people in that sample say yes, they'd like to see that Chick-fil-A go in, then maybe you can say that the entire school might want that. If most of the people in the sample or a significant number of the people say that they don't want to see that, you can apply that back and say that the population doesn't really care for Chick-fil-A. Now, what's important here and what you learned also in the video is that a sample can only provide meaningful statistics if it is a random sample. So what we're going to be learning next week is how to find a random sample so that those statistics can be representative of the population and you can make accurate conclusions. All right, so make sure that you submit your notes for this week and go ahead and fill in the quick quiz for this week at the bottom of your page.